Hello, welcome to the series where I show you what I'm doing to try and become a web developer. My name's Craig and this is week 18. Felt like it's been a pretty good week. I've gone through FreeCodeCamp and I've completed React, Redux and React with Redux modules. I've done an introduction to Node.js and I started a Learn course. One thing that I felt wasn't brilliant this week was design. I just really struggled with doing some design elements this week. But let's dive in to see how much time I've spent on web development this week. In total, I've spent 23 hours and 35 minutes, and that's split up as 9 hours of tutorials and 14 hours 35 of projects. I felt like I did a lot more tutorials than just 9 hours, but hey ho. Time wise, I think that's okay. I still need to up that a little bit. 23 hours isn't enough to be doing it like full time, I guess. So it'd be nice to get that higher and higher. I keep saying that, and I find myself, I get really tired after about 4 or 5 hours a day. So maybe I need to have more breaks during the day, but do it for longer. I'm not too sure. What have I been learning this week? The main focus has been FreeCodeCamp and going through, like I said, the React, Redux and React with Redux modules on the front end framework section. I'm going to be honest, I think I've gone through these sections far too quickly. React I'm fairly happy with because I've complemented that with other Skillshare courses, but Redux, like, I don't understand it. I just have no idea what Redux actually does. Yes, I know it's a place that it's like a one-stop shop for states, but accessing it, modifying it, I'm just like, nah, don't understand it. So I need to go back and think about that, look at other resources to get more information around it. But I'm up to the projects now on the front-end frameworks. I don't think I'm going to start them next week. Like I said, I might wait until the week after before I start them. Generally, it's been okay, but I just need to sit down and practice Redux and React a little bit more. Then I've done a little bit of the Odin project, not a huge amount with my focus being on FreeCodeCamp and some Node stuff, but I've made some progress with the foundations of JavaScript. Not learning a huge amount there, mostly just revision and practice is always good. Next up, we got the Node Skillshare courses I've taken. So I did take two, sort of. One of them I completed. It was a very quick course. It was about 35 minutes long. A really nice introduction. Didn't go into a huge amount of detail, and it didn't talk about any deployment, which seems to be a running theme with a lot of tutorials I've been watching. It's all about building and not deploying, so I have this big kind of black hole of how do I deploy. But it was good. The other course, however, I watched it on like 1.25 speed and then stopped it halfway through because I just wasn't clicking. I did do the project for the first Skillshare course, which I'll be going through on my computer in a little bit. Finally, got the Learn course that I eventually started. I was meant to start it last week, just didn't feel like I was in the right mind frame for it. So I pushed through and started it this week. Done about 3 hours of it. And it's good. Some of the syntax is a little bit old, I think, and some of the explanations are a little bit lacking, but I'm trying to take on as much as I can with the aim to try and build my own project at the end. That's always the aim, isn't it? You learn something, you apply it. We'll see how I get on. Let's dive over to the computer and see what I have been building. So I've got 3 websites to go through plus the front-end mentor challenge. I've got a website that I created from a random brief. The random brief generator will be in the link below. I've got a React counter app and the project from the Node Skillshare course I've taken. Let's dive in. First up, we'll go through the random brief company. So the idea of this company is it's a car company. It sells luxury, inexpensive cars with a target audience of college students, I believe it was. They wanted to use the color green, have 4 pages, a home page, an information, a shop, and a terms and conditions kind of page. Within the home page, they wanted the header and meet the team. Shop, obviously selling items, information. I think that was just information about the company and terms and conditions under services. So I was saying out in the introduction that I kind of struggled with design. I don't think I've captured the luxury really element of this company. So we'll go with mobile first because that's how I've designed it. And I'll be honest, I haven't quite finished this. I've only done 2 pages. I've done the home page and the shop. I still need to do information and services. I've got a nice hamburger bar. That's all coded up myself. I do quite like this on mobile. It's stylish, comfortable, affordable. I need to put some kind of hover state on the button. I think it works quite nicely. Image probably could be better. Meet the team. I think again that looks okay on mobile. Obviously these would be avatars of people that I should probably put in before, you know, I say the site's complete. Just some random placeholder avatar images. And yeah, the Docker company will link back to the home page. So I think that's okay. And then on desktop, I've tried to add a little bit of kind of margin between this and the edge. And I'm not entirely sold on this. I think the image needs reworking. I believe I've got it as background cover and it just doesn't look quite right to me. I do like Docker company in the top left, and I think these little hover effects are quite nice. Meet the team. This is where I'm not sure about it on desktop. I quite like the white space on either side, but something just doesn't sit right with me here. It's too close to the line. This could probably be with, yeah, this could, the meet the team section could be bigger, like the title. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on this bit here. But if we go to the shop, and again, go to mobile first. Shop again, could the title be a little bit bigger? I don't want it, possibly, should the company logo be smaller? I'm just kind of nitpicking right now. But we've got the product, again, using the green. We'll have a price tag and a little bit of a description of the product. So each image would be a car. My idea was to have like a load more button, and the load more would do it automatically. I'm not too sure, but not too unhappy with this. I think the problem I have is the image. I want that to go to the bottom, but then it would be stretched. So I don't think it's too bad on mobile. I forgot to mention that nav is sticky, which I think is quite a good look, and it helps people navigate straight away if they need to, no scrolling. And then on desktop, I need to add more products. Probably get rid of the load more and do pages actually, like page 1 or page 2, page 3. Or make each product bigger, especially a bigger image on desktop. I think that would work quite nicely. And that's really all I've done for this website. I need to finish off the information and the services. It's okay, but I don't think it captures the luxury element that the website wanted. Next up, we've got the counter React app. So I wanted to do a JavaScript counter app, but in the end, I just did it as React. And fairly straightforward. You click the buttons, it goes up or down. It changes color to red when it's in the negative, and reset it. I did have issues deploying this. I wanted to put it in my web dev journey repo folder, but deploying that kind of caused me a headache. So at the end, I deployed it through Netlify, which is still really good practice. Then we've got the Node.js project, which is a restaurant app. I've done a little bit of styling, but I've got my code up here actually because it's running locally. It's all styled within the index.js file. So I didn't want to go too much on the styling. But this is the home screen, and you say, okay, hello, may I take your order water, burger or fries. So you click there, it changes to order water, and you return, and then this changes. So it should say, would you like anything else or just the bill, or view your orders. So you can keep adding waters. The total number of waters increases. We'll add some fries and a burger. And then view the current orders. So current orders, we've got 3 waters, a burger and fries. Then we'll say just the bill please. We've got the current bill, each item, and then pay the bill that's been paid. And it restarts. So generally it wasn't too difficult. There was an additional step which I haven't been able to complete, and that is to make it handle multiple orders. So like different tables, for example. And that's what I tried. I tried to create a table object where I would push the object of orders into it. But for the life of me, I couldn't like change between table numbers. So I've had to pause that, and I might revisit it in the future. Okay, last but not least, for the front end meta challenge. I haven't added any description, so I need to do that. But this was a junior challenge with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It was a dashboard design. Figma, that was alright. A lot of colors. It uses a lot of SVGs as well. These little icons in the back and the ellipse. And there's a few hover states. So yeah, card on hover and ellipse on hover. I've stretched these because I kind of took them from the mobile version and just try to get the size right. But generally the Figma wasn't too difficult. Coding this up really did my head in. So this is my version. And there's a few things. I've learned quite a lot doing this challenge. So the first issue I encountered was this card layout type thing. So I couldn't get this overlap working. So right now this is in a grid. And what I try to do with each card, I tried a position relative and tried to do like negative margins to get this overlap working. That wasn't playing ball. I was just pulling my hair out, so eventually I did have to kind of watch a video to see how to do it. And interestingly, these cards are one grid as well, but the background card spans the entire grid, and then the foreground card only spans one row. So that was really interesting to learn how to do that. I don't think I've quite got the colors right here. I think that should probably be white. It's not very good for contrast. What I really enjoyed was learning how to load a local JSON file, and then that changes depending on which time frames clicked. So initially I've got it loaded up and it selects daily, but we change to weekly, all the information updates, and monthly as well. So I thought that was really cool, using JSON and JavaScript and doing stuff like that. I really enjoyed that. But the other issue I really struggled with and I haven't solved was this card hover. So as you can see there, there's a slight hover animation on the ellipse. Now in the example provided, the ellipse should be able to hover by itself. And I can't for the life of me figure that one out either. So right now I have the ellipse as a child element of the card. I don't know if that's the thing that's causing the issue, but yeah, I can't get the ellipse hover working without the card also hovering. So a bit of a pain there. But the other interesting thing I learned, because I really do not like SVGs, I can't work with them apparently. So these SVGs were fine, but the ellipse caused me a lot of issues. I couldn't change the color. So again with this, I was trying to do the hover effect, changing it to white. And I tried to change the color, I tried to change the fill, and I tried to change the background color. The background color would change, but the fill or the color didn't impact the actual dots. And that's because I was loading it as an image, couldn't access the fill. So I was kind of like trying a few things. I tried to load it as an object with the source as the SVG and access the fill that way, but couldn't get that working either. So what I've learned now is how to use a mask in CSS, which is really interesting. So right now I have a background color and I'm using the SVG as the mask. I thought that was really cool. So on hover now, I changed the background color. There was a few issues. I think even here you can kind of tell that part of it's missing. So I had to change like the mask repeat to 0. I had to set a minimum width, I believe, because on desktop it was trying to do it all. Or maximum width, yeah. But generally it was really good fun using that. In mobile was the easiest design, which I started with first. So I thought this was really fun. I've learned quite a lot, but it did challenge me a fair amount. That is everything for week 18. A slightly challenging week, but in a good way. I've learned a few things, which is good. That's the whole aim of this. Next week, my focus is going to be a little bit more on the Odin project, building a few more just projects in general, so I can put them on my CV. And yeah, just working with front-end mentor challenges to try and improve my design a little bit. Just feel like I need to do a lot of practice. That's what I'll be aiming to do. Links to everything will be down below if you want to check them out. And as always, I would appreciate any feedback or suggestions. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you'd like to see more, then please hit that subscribe button down below. Hope you all have a nice day, and I'll catch you all later.